I'm back at the oven, about to put the cheesecake in. So my cheesecake is in the pan, and the cake pan is in another pan for the water bath. So it's very important. My water is also boiled, by the way. Also, this went into a 9-inch pan. Just so you know, I prepared both at the beginning. The 8-inch was for sure too small, so use a 9-inch cake pan. Very important, do not put the water into your second pan first. You want to put your cake pan into the oven. Like you'll see I'm gonna pull out my my oven rack a little bit, put the cake pan down, and then add the water. Otherwise it's gonna be sloshing all over the place. We don't want that. We also don't want to keep the oven open too long. We don't want heat to escape. Here we go. Everything's ready, okay? So, oven open, pulling out my oven rack, cake pan goes in, and I've left room so that I can pour in the water. And it only has to go up about halfway up the actual cheesecake cake pan. All right, water in. Oven rack pushed back, oven closed. So I'm baking at 400 degrees for 18 minutes. Then I'm gonna lower the temperature to 285 and bake for a half an hour. Now, when it comes to cheesecake, normally cheesecake bakes at a constant temperature for an hour. Normally it's about 300 degrees for an hour. But this one, again, because it's the meringue, I think it needs the higher temperature. I tried to find, again, a consensus on what temperature to use. Based on photos, this one looked the best, so I'm going with this. And it makes sense to me that we need the higher temperature at the beginning and then the lower temperature later. So like I said, 18 minutes at 400, and then we lower it to 285, and that's 30 minutes. Then you shut the oven off and leave the cake in the oven for another 30 minutes. That's true of any cheesecake. It always has to stay in the oven, that's off, for 30 minutes. Now this recipe that I saw also said after that 30 minutes of being in the oven with no heat, you take the pan out of the water bath and put it back in the oven off, but with the door open a little bit. I don't know if that's necessary. I'll let you guys know. I think the 30 minutes should be fine, but we'll see. So I will be back with the finished product. Stay tuned. This is my cheesecake wrap up. So after it baked, and we left it in the oven for 30 minutes with the oven off, and then I took it out of the water bath and left it in the oven with the door ajar, as per the instructions. So then after that, I put it in the fridge to let it chill. So I don't know if it's the oven, like keeping it in the oven for that last 30 minutes, or the fact that I didn't unmold it right away after that. This is the final cheesecake. So as you can see, the sides sort of caved in a little bit, and I'm thinking that's because I didn't unmold it right away. I haven't tasted it yet, and I wanted to do that with you. It's also not as jiggly as I'd like it to be, but that could be because I just took it out of the fridge. But really what matters at the end of the day is what the darn cake thing tastes like. So let's see. Ooh, so that's very fluffy and airy and cool. I also dusted it. I made it fancy. You guys don't have to make it fancy if you don't want to. I wanted to make it fancy. I just took a stencil and put it on top of the cake and then dusted a little icing sugar over it. So here's to sundaes, here's to baking, here's to cheesecake. Oh god, it's really good. Until next time.